Okay, folks, going to go ahead and get started. Not too many have joined up yet. I'm quite a bit behind schedule, unfortunately. I meant to start the stream almost an hour ago, so my schedule today did not work out as good as I had hoped. So I'm a bit behind, and that means I have less time now for the stream. So I might do another stream later on today to show off Rome, but I wanted to get the opportunity to just get this in because I know a few of you were waiting for it. And worst case scenario, many of you can catch the stream anytime during the day because I'll make sure it's still available, especially if it doesn't reach your particular time zone for the time being. So I did decide to start with the Aerosoft Airbus Extended from the flight deck because that was one of the requests from one of the ADX readers. I wanted to get an opportunity to say what it looks like from the flight deck because this is where a lot of their work, pre-flight work and everything, where everything takes place. So they mentioned that there's usually not a whole lot of screenshots or previous screenshots from this eye point. So I wanted to make just sort of an effort to do that so that you get an idea of what the scenery looks like. So I thought what I would do for now is right now the point is just to give you an idea of the quality of the scenery and versus the performance. So the performance counter is on the upper left-hand corner, and you can see where it's sort of bouncing between 30 and 50, somewhere in between there. It's bouncing around a little bit. During my earlier tests, I did not note any micro stutters, so that was a good thing. Everything seemed very clear pretty much all the way through. So what I'll do now is just do some taxiing around the airfield. Just to give you an idea of the performance, because I know that was one of the things that was noted during the beta testing phase. So again, the quality is not going to be among the very best that you obviously, I'm sure you're aware of that, but I think the point is to give you a good rendition of Rome. One that obviously is far better than any freeware or obviously better than default. And one that has enough accuracy where you can enjoy it. Because right now it's certainly the best thing available, and I think it's a scenery that can be useful for a lot of people. So as we know, the scenery was rejected by Aerosoft last week, and they mentioned that they felt that the scenery did not meet their expectations, and you can't fault them for that. I certainly don't fault them for that. They have to do what they feel is best that meets the criteria for their business model. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the scenery is bad by any means. And so that's what we're here to show today. Take a quick second to look at some of the comments. Yes, we will. Someone saying Amir Fred, I think that's right. Yes, we will get into some night shots as well. Once again, I'm really behind schedule today, unfortunately, so I only have about probably another 25 minutes to show off the scenery. So all I'm going to do for now is taxi around the airfield just to give you an idea of the quality and the performance of the product, and then hopefully at some point we can come around and do some more tests for another live stream. But right now, it's still in beta, and there's still some things that need to be worked out, and some corrections need to be made. So it's still in development. It's not 100% beta because there's some things that still need to be worked out. But ultimately, I would say that the airport is 95% complete, and in my own personal opinion, I don't expect it to be Flight Tampa or Flight Beam quality. I want Rome so bad that I just want a decent representation, and obviously this is far better than decent. And one of the things I mentioned in my article earlier today is that if, for example, if Blueprint can find a niche, then certainly Dream Factory Studios can as well, even if it's not among the level of quality that a lot of us have come to expect lately. In this airport, certainly the level of quality meets my criteria to have a nice Rome scenery finally done. And payware quality. The last payware quality Rome we got was from Lago, and that was from maybe 2003. Long time ago. So it's long overdue. And I think this airport would fit in, I think, well with a lot of the products you see on SimMarket. SimMarket sells some of the best things, and they sell a lot of junk too. So I think this airport, appropriately priced, I think should serve just fine for many of us. Now again, if you notice the frames counter, I don't have any AI activated. When I did my test with the AI, the performance was in the 30s, so it was like bouncing between 27 and 36, somewhere around there. So even with full AI, I still had decent performance. A couple of things that I noted so far just in my tests is these bright lights that you see here, these sort of bright blurry lights. This is something that at some point we need to be corrected just so that they're a little bit sharper. These sort of bright lights here. And there was one other thing that I noted as well. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head what else was it? Think. Darn, I'm drawing a total blank. There was another issue that I noted, but I can't. Oh, there we go. It just reminded me just now, as a matter of fact. Hang on. During certain panning shots, and it could be that the product is just not fully compatible with prepared V2 yet. There's no installer yet. Obviously, it's just they are just files that need to be activated. So one of the things I notice is if I look at the control tower, see it's black, and it's loading there. Now it's loaded. So I noticed that when I pan around, a lot of the terminal or the object textures will lose their textures if I pan around quickly and look back. And that's probably just for, I'm assuming that could be either a prepared incompatibility issue, and that'll probably be straightened out with a triple installer once that's all ready to go. Or it could be that it's optimized that way to just remove the textures. There it is again. And now it's back. Probably just to help with the performance. So that's just an assumption. But those are the two largest things that I noted. But you'll notice right now frame rates with the Aerosoft Airbus Extended. And you notice it's pretty smooth. The panning around is really smooth. There's no drop in frames. There's no micro stutters to annoy me. So just taxiing around the airfield here, it's fairly smooth. And if I'm talking really fast, that's because I'm pressed for time and I really wanted to make this time for you guys today. And the scenery, I see Adrian's asking, is the scenery for FSX? It is for FSX, that is correct. I don't use FSX personally. I don't have it installed on any of my machines anymore. So everything that I do in prepared. That's the way I roll. Switch back to the outside here. You can see the frames are still in the 50s. Oh shoot, I need to plug in my laptop. Hang on a second. My laptop is getting ready to die on me. Let's see, I'm just going to let that roll. Give me 1 second. There we go. Renee, how's it going, buddy? Oh shoot, I gotta reset this thing again. Alright, so again, we're just doing some taxiing around. This is the recently canceled project from Aerosoft. And what was that noise? Oh, my computer's saying plug me in. I just plugged it in. Come on. Jeez, is it not? It's plugged in. Oh man, come on. Hang on, my laptop's getting ready to quit on me here. I've got to hit the brakes. Sorry. There we go. Once the laptop quits, then I lose my stream here. And Cal's noting the thing that I'm not too fond of is the ground textures between the taxiways. I'm assuming you mean like where the taxiways end onto like the grass areas. Yeah, this was actually something that I noted with the Amsterdam scenery as well. This is just sort of a development technique from this particular developer. I agree with you. It's not something that I'm too fond of either. I will definitely admit that. But it's not gonna kill the experience for me. I mean, the ground textures overall are not bad. They really aren't. But yeah, I see what you mean. Right as these kind of rugged lines as they go into the sort of the dirt areas there. No, I definitely understand that. So yeah, I'm not something that I'm super fond of either. But it's not something that's gonna make me not buy the product. Now I know that there's some concerns about AES coverage, and well, I'll say this: all of Dream Factory Studios' previous products were all AES compatible. So I don't necessarily know why this wouldn't be any different. I know that there was something written in the Aerosoft forums that might have suggested that something wasn't optimized properly or developed properly for AES. Here are those lights I was talking about. This is something that needs to be corrected. Again, this is not the final representation of the product, so naturally everything's not going to look perfect. But anyway, what was I talking about here? AES, and so I don't know why anything would be done differently here. I know that for a lot of people, AES is a deal breaker, and that was the case for me for many years. I refused to buy a product till it had AES, and if it never got it, then I never bought the product. But I've already made my feelings known about AES and its developer, and it's not right to put developers over a barrel, the way that Oliver has essentially, because it's just the one person developing for AES, and in my opinion, you need more of a team to develop a product like that, especially when there are a lot of developers not related to Aerosoft that rely on it. Otherwise, their customers may not buy the product. So you shouldn't hold people over a barrel. And even though I probably spent about $300 on AES credits. That's just how much I love the program. But now that I use Prepared V2, all those credits for me are essentially useless. And if that's the way it has to be, that's the way it has to be. I had to get over my love of AES, because the bottom line is my love for flight simulation goes beyond that. So it sucks not having those nice AES trucks at the gate and all that, but then I just had to move on. So I use GSX whenever that's possible. I mean, I have to do without the jet bridges in most cases, but so be it. And I think sooner or later, a lot of other people are probably going to start to say, well, come on, Oliver, either wake up or we're going to have to move along too. What I'd like to see is another developer come in and create a proper AES product. Whether or not it'll ever come, I don't know. So, but anyway, getting back on point to Rome, I don't know if it'll have AES compatibility or not. Again, all of this developer's previous products are AES compatible, so I don't see why there would be a difference. But from what I've seen with some of the people who've been talking about, is something might have been done differently. I'm not sure. So as we noticed, looking at performance again, the performance is not bad. I think many of you would agree. I mean, I think performance with a PMDG 777 should be around the same. I don't know if it would be maybe slightly different. I know the 777 is a bit more complex than the A320, so maybe the complex systems might have a bit of a hit. I don't know. As far as the PMDG NGX goes, I think that's probably, load-wise, it's probably got to be about the same as the Airbus. So I imagine performance with that should be about the same. And in a moment, I'm going to switch over to the night textures, because I know one of the things that Matthias noted was that for some reason at night, he can't get over one frame per second or something like that. I don't remember exactly how I read it. When I did my tests, there was no change. You see where the frames are now, and I found the frames to be exactly the same at night, so we'll switch over to night textures in a moment. And in fact, I'll probably even load up some AI aircraft here. Hang on. Just for kicks and giggles, let's add an extra load on the system. Let's see, display, traffic. And I'm actually just going to move it up to 100%. I have quite a few AI traffic packages installed. So now we're just going to activate all the AI, and let's take a look at where our frames are now. Frames they've dropped a bit. We've got AI, full AI activated. Frame rates have dropped a bit, but not so much that I think it's that noticeable though. And this is 100% AI, so obviously I don't think many people fly with their AI at 100%. But for kicks and giggles, we're just adding an extra load on the system. You can see my package hasn't been updated in a long time. But frames are still in the 30s. Before we were getting in the 40s. It looks like we've abandoned the 40s a little bit. That's what it looks like to me. So obviously a performance hit, but again, if I were in a live flight right now, I don't think I'd be complaining about performance. Again, the textures are not the best we've ever seen, obviously, and we're not expecting them to be. It's been made clear by Aerosoft they're not pleased with it. So the purpose of doing the stream as well is to give you an idea that you know what you're paying for. And I don't think this has ever been done before. I know Milviz has done it with their 737. They did a lot of live streams with that product when it was in testing, and I actually joined in on some of those streams and watched. So it's nice to see what you're getting before you pay your money, as opposed to just relying on a product page and a description. You actually get to see it and know what you're getting, what you're spending your money on. So, you know, no one's lying or trying to hide and tell you, oh, this is the best quality you're ever going to find. No, this is being upfront right away and telling you. And again, Aerosoft has made themselves clear in their opinion of it as well. Ooh, there's some old Air Berlin liveries out there. So I'm not noticing any micro stutters, although I'm having trouble staying on my center line here. So this is with the full AI activated, quite a few planes at the gates. I'll take a quick second to look at some of your comments here. What time is it? It's 11 o'clock, so I'm down to about 15 more minutes to go with the stream. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, Renee, it's definitely a national tragedy. As a matter of fact, one of my wife's best friend's girlfriend was on that plane, so on that Malaysia flight. So that's kind of how small the world is. It really is. The world is really small. Piloto's saying, I suppose Mathos is expecting a great quality for such an important airport. I suppose he wants to start making airports as good as Oslo. The scenery is a step under, but oops. When new comments come in, it drops. The scenery is a step under, but it all depends on price. Perhaps there was an agreement on this. Textures could be better. Agreed. And like I said before, I think if this airport is priced appropriately for the level of quality, then I don't think anyone's going to have a problem buying it. As we noticed, there's a few issues that need to be worked out. Again, still in development, but I think that perhaps this product is something that's more suitable for some market or something like that. But naturally, it's far better than what you're going to get from any other offering or from default. So I think as long as a developer chooses to price it appropriately, then I think that that there is a market for it. And I personally consider myself to be a part of that market because I've been dying to get a new Fiumicino, if I pronounce it right, for a very long time. So. And Renee says, comparing Rome to Amsterdam, Cornell made great progress in terms of optimization for FSX instead of FS9. And Piloto, just a reminder, this is my AI packages are, I like to keep older airlines and airplanes in. I'm sort of sentimental that way, so if you're seeing defunct airlines or defunct deliveries or aircraft that are no longer operated, it's because I like it that way. And to answer your question, Renee, will Cornell release it independently? Well, that's the idea, but obviously it'll be through a third-party retailer. But that has not yet been decided. It could be any of the other retailers currently available right now. And Cal says, considering it's not fully complete yet, fingers crossed, a few quirks can be fixed, but I look forward to the release as a major European hub. I'm shocked it's taken this long. Well, ultimately, Cal, the product, the FSX version of the product was done last year, but because it was being done for Aerosoft as the publisher, Aerosoft wasn't happy with the quality. So they sent them back and said, well, this is what we'd like to see corrected. And so after all of these months, finally Cornell said, okay, I'm down to the last set of files. And at the end, they just decided they weren't happy with the amount of change that took place during that time period, so they then elected not to release it. So that's part of what took it so long. And Pluto says, what you're doing is very important, DeAndre. I like developers taking their creations on streaming. And Panga saying, am I using the same system for the stream as below in the stream here? Yes. But my next plan, and that'll be tomorrow, is I'm going to install it on my second computer. My second computer is sort of a low-range machine. So I will be conducting tests on the lower range machine as well and posting my results also. There is no release ETA yet. And I'm starting to run a little bit low on time, so let's go ahead and switch over to the night textures. And let's see if the frame rates drop at all. Let's see, time and season, and we're going to go to night. Let's say 8 o'clock. Is that night enough, or should I go darker than that? I guess we'll see. If the frames drop too low, then we'll just pull out the AI traffic. That's a funny thing, is watching the scenery load in real time right before your eyes. All right, nighttime. If anyone wants me to go darker than this, I can go darker than this. What was noted was that the frames at night were really bad. Maybe the frames have dropped a little bit. It's like 29, between 29 and 32. So I guess maybe they dropped a little bit more with the night textures. Again, this is full AI. Look at all these airplanes, right? So this is obviously having an effect on the performance. There's a lot of airplanes out. So I might remove the planes and try to see if the how much more the frames will come up. Let's go back to the flight deck. Okay. Oops, what happened? Oh, no. All right, get a little bit of light here for the night textures. So, nighttime. 29 to 32 is the current performance. That's where we're at now, between 29 and 32. Is that ground lit up? Let me see here. Nose. Oh yeah, that is lit up. Okay, I wanted to make sure. Yep. Okay, so now we're just running the taxi test. This is actually dusk. It's not really night, so we'll make sure we change it to the full night textures. I think some of the positioning of some of the lights are off too. I think those need to be corrected. I think the green light should be directly along the center line there. So that might need to be corrected. Yeah, it looks like some of the ground lighting is actually not in the correct position, and it could be my own installation. But anyway, again, this is not a finished product, so let's not jump to any conclusions, please. Right now, the only thing that I'm really wanting to show at the moment is the performance and the quality of the scenery itself. These things such as, let me hit the brakes. These things such as the little faults that I'm actually noticing myself, these are things that obviously can be corrected. So, too much power. So just looking at it here, I mean, even with the I don't even know if I need to turn the AI traffic off. To me personally, I feel like this is still enough. It's like, do I really need to turn off the AI? I even saw it jump up to 37 there. I guess it depends on where you are within the airport as well. It might also kind of more or less determine what you get performance-wise. This is bad taxi. Renee says, looks very Amsterdamish to me. Not a bad thing. Let's see. Cal says it looks pretty smooth, which is my main priority. Piloto says, according to real images, it's a very confusing airport. Many terminals and gates and textures must not be so dark. It looks better at night. This airport deserves more light on textures. Sorry, I'm reading, so I'm like way off my taxi lane here. Let's see. Unlike Lisbon yesterday, which wasn't smooth. Yeah, Lisbon was kind of tough on those micro stutters. You know, I actually forgot to go to the night textures on that because I was in a hurry. Looks like I'm in a hurry today. So I apologize for that. So at some point I'll try to get us a stream on Lisbon. Try to just go back there and get the night textures for you guys if you want. If it's not necessary, I won't bother. But I know that I did forget to do that, but it was just I was really pressed for time. I even was in such a hurry that I crashed the plane. So that just gives you an idea of how pressed I was for time, and I'm getting kind of close to that too. Let's see. And Renee says, D, could you take a look at the files itself? What is the resolution of the textures in the texture folder? Is there a large BGL in the scenery folder? How many separate files and how are they split between scenery? Renee, do me a favor. Just send me an email, okay? Send me an email later, Renee, and we'll talk about it. Because I'm not sure exactly all you want me to do, and I don't have the time to do it now. So I'll answer that question for you via email. All right, and then let's just really quickly go straight to night lighting. because I'm starting to run behind here. So we'll just go straight dark. Weather, time and season. Let's just go 10 o'clock. What time is it now? It's 11 past the hour. Alright, so full nighttime and the frames have gone up. Look at that. Looks like the frames have gone up a bit. And just taking a look at the center line with the ground lighting. Actually, the ground lighting is not bad. I'm actually okay with that. Let's see, let's turn, and where are my center lights? So now I've got a center line here, but no lighting along it. The lights are sort of off to the side. So that's something that looks like we'll need a little bit of correcting. So still fairly smooth. Go to outside view here again. Oh, my navigation lights are off, huh? Boy, the plane looks too dark at night. I can hardly see it. Wait, what happened to my taxi lights? It was on takeoff taxi. What the heck? Alright, so anyway, wife is already texting. Wow, am I even on the taxiway? I really can't see. Oh, I'm not. Oh, no wonder I didn't see the green light. The green light stopped. I was supposed to go over here. There it is. It's on my right. Oh, crap. Alright. Let me go back to the flight deck here and see if I can find my way at night on the taxi line. Ooh, turn. There we go. Ah, wait, I can almost see it. Where are you? There it is. Put the beam like right on the taxi light, huh? I can see where I'm going. Okay, so I think we'll agree we're getting more than 1 frame per second at night. So again, things still need to be done. Still a little bit of work, but I don't think that this project is a lost hope, and that's sort of the point. So I think that there is a market for this airport. I think there are people out there that might still like to buy it, but I think it's a good thing for you guys to see for yourself as well. So Cornell has graciously given his permission to kind of show it off a bit so you can see the state that it's currently in, so you know what you're getting and you know where the state currently is. And if there's anything that you notice that I didn't notice, then please send me an email, because I'm going to be sending Cornell an email tomorrow after I do tests on the slower system, just of all of my findings. And of course there are other beta testers that are in the processes of looking at it and submitting their feedback too. So by all means, if you notice anything from the stream, let me know, and I'll include that also. So this is pretty much it in a nutshell. Hopefully this was a little bit helpful. And that's it. Just asking one unrelated question. Cinnable's asking, why didn't I like Cytec Cessna Pro Yoke? I didn't like it because, number one, that plastic, it felt like one of those toy racing wheels. So I felt like I was playing with a toy, like for a race car game, and it didn't feel like something for a flight simulator. And if you have the Thrustmaster Warthog and you feel the solid metal, you feel how real authentic it feels, and then going to that Cessna yoke, It annoyed me, but that's not the reason I got rid of it. The reason I got rid of it is that Cessna Pro Yoke has a center dead zone in it. And for me, I like my controls extremely sensitive. They have to be super, super, super sensitive. Which means that, for example, with my rudder pedals and with my flight stick, I want to barely move it and get a response. Like literally barely touch it and get a response. That's just how I like it to be. So in this particular case, with this one, I couldn't set it up to that proper sensitivity because that center dead zone. So I had to turn the yoke considerably before I got a response from the aircraft, and that just really annoyed me. And it sucked because it was a gift from the wifey and all that, but it went to a good cause. It went to a charity that teaches children how to fly via the use of flight simulators. It's called visionofflight.org, so definitely check them out as well if you have any old stuff you like to give away. Piloto says I should have flied a bit to see from above, like from a helicopter. Oh, I'm running out of time. Give me just, okay, I'll switch to a helicopter really quickly. Really quickly. So I gotta go. Alright, we'll do that real quick, Piloto. What time is it? It's 17 past the hour. Just give me any helicopter. Well, I don't like this helicopter, but okay, that's fine. This is the flimsy helicopter. Alright, let's just see it from the air really quickly. Let's take off quick. Ah, flimsy helicopter. Ah! What happened? Oh, let's get this thing off of here. Okay. Oh, what's going on with this thing? This one, you know what? It's probably not set to 100%. Here comes the slow man! I don't have time for games. Alright, here we go. We'll just pause it. Oh, where'd it go? Alright, so you get to see it a little bit from the air. And a little bit of how it blends in with Open Land Class Europe, which is really nice. I think the coverage for Italy looks really nice, actually. I like it. Frame rates are in the 40s with the helicopter. Okay. So this is it from the air. Alright, so hopefully, oh shoot. Alright, so hopefully that kind of helps give you all a bit of an idea of it. I know there's a lot of people that were looking forward to this project. I know there was a lot of disappointment using the word canceled, but it's by no means canceled, just not being released by Aerosoft. It'll once it's officially announced, yeah, this thing's going to crash now. Once it's officially announced where it'll be sold through and once everything is worked out, then all that information will be given out, and then once the final files come along, I'll do another stream just so you can see the fixes and corrections. And I really like to see this product salvaged. You know, I really want to what's the word that I'm looking for? Encourage the developer. And the last thing we need is developers leaving this community and leaving this hobby. We need all we can get, and naturally, as long as we all have the capacity to accept the fact that not every developer is going to have the same level of quality, and that we can make those certain exceptions as it pertains to different developers, and I think we can still enjoy all the products and have a good time. So I'll have more feedback tomorrow once I test on the lower end computer, and and then again, if any of you have any feedback from the stream or the quality or anything like that, let me know. And send me an email, please, airdailyx@gmail.com, and I'll be more than happy to take a look at that and include that with a list of fixes and stuff for the scenery. So anyway, I hope this was helpful for you, and it'll be highlighted. This will be highlighted and able to view again in a couple of hours for anyone who missed it. And other than that, I'll have more news up on the blog today. Anyway, I gotta go. So thanks again, everyone. And again, send me your feedback via email if you have anything for me. And I gotta bounce. So I'm gonna say, see you later, peoples.